Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So I have a kind of like review of these ArtBeek 80-piece alcohol markers, like alcohol art markers. They come in a case that zips around. I have it unzipped so I could just pop it open for you, and this is what the set looks like here. I have recently seen T from T's World of Adult Coloring review these. The people at ArtBeek reached out to me a while back and asked me if I would be interested in showing these on my channel in exchange for the they would send me the set for free if I wanted to review them for the channel, or I agreed to show them on the channel. And I said sure. So my markers came, and I'm going to say right off the bat, I was missing one. They're supposed to be 80, and I have 79. And also, I received 2 of the 144 pale sky blue markers. So I'm actually missing 2 shades in my set because of the fact that they sent me a duplicate. Now, from watching T's video, I realized one of the ones I'm missing is terracotta, but I'm not sure what the other one is that I'm missing. And again, I'm gonna say that these markers were free to me. They sent them to me, so I'm not like upset about having 2 missing from my set, but I would say that if I purchased these markers, I would definitely, that would be like an issue for me that I would contact customer service about. I'm sure they would make it right, but yeah, so I am missing 2 colors from my set. So I wanted to say that right off the bat. So these markers have they have the name. Let me get it lined up here. They have the name on each end, as well as a number. There you go. And they have their ArtBeek sketch marker logo on one side, and they do tell you that one side is a fine point and the other side is a broad point. Now also, I'm going to push these back a little bit so I can show you. So the broad point is like a chiseled nib, and the fine point, if I can, there we go, get this open, is just like a little fine pointed nib, All right. So I received these markers, like I said, a little while ago, and my biggest thing, let me just say this about alcohol markers. I am not a huge user of alcohol markers in my coloring books. I do use them occasionally as a base in my Amazon printed coloring books. But other than that, I don't use them too often. I know a lot of you love your alcohol markers, especially people that love to straight color, do mandalas and things like that. Alcohol markers is a hugely popular medium that people use for adult coloring books, and I get it. They're super vibrant, and the color saturation is wonderful and everything, but for me personally, I just don't gravitate toward them unless I'm using them as a base in my Amazon printed coloring books. Okay, so I got that out of the way. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about what they say. Well, here, I'll leave that open. And I'm going to tell you just a little bit about what it says on the Amazon listing. And I will leave a link to these markers in the description section below for you to check them out. So they are $26.99 for the 80 color set. It has a chisel and a fine tip, like I just showed you. And it says they're vibrant colors, highly pigmented. They are easy blending markers. This is according to their description. Fast drying instantly, which I did find that to be true. They do dry very quickly. The dual tip markers with a color-coded cap. And it says also they are non-toxic for kids. And then also I wanted to tell you that they have a 4.5, let me see, actually 4.6 out of 5 star rating on Amazon, which is really good. And they have, I think there is 183 ratings. So I'm going to pop that up just so that you can see it. They have 103 ratings with a 4.6 average rating. So that's pretty good, you know, definitely pretty good. So like I said, I'll leave a link to those. Oops, I didn't mean to hit the camera. So I will leave a link to them in the description section below. So I'm going to show you swatches. Now, I am not a professional swatcher like some of y'all. Let me move this out of my way here so it won't make a shadow. There we go. No, we don't want any shadows. So, I kind of, when they came, they were just randomly placed in the packaging. There's a little plastic tray in the bottom of the bag so that they stand upright. And they were kind of all over the place with the numbers. So I decided the first thing I did was pick out ones that I thought would be suitable for skin tones. And then I swatched them with the number and name. And then I kind of just went into like oranges, pinks, purple, red, that kind of thing. And just did my thing. I have one color that is my absolute, and I actually even swatched out the Pale Baby Blue twice, even though it clearly was marked on the marker that I had double of that one, because I thought on the off chance that perhaps it had been mislabeled. But no, it's the same. You can see that it's definitely the same. So you get a nice variety, I think, of greens, some of the blues. I like the grays, and there's also a gray on this sheet, the warm gray. I liked that one. But I have to tell you, my favorite, which is really unusual for me, my favorite colors are the oranges. I really love this melon yellow. I love the marigold, the orange, and the French vermilion is my favorite. I absolutely love the French vermilion. Coral pink is really pretty. This one called Cosmos. Very, very vibrant and extremely juicy. I have no issue. So I'll give you a reason why I'm not like a super into my alcohol markers, is because I have found that over time some brands do yellow. So you guys know what I'm talking about. We all know bleed through, but bleed through and yellowing are two different things. And after time goes on, you might discover in one of your books that pages have yellowed preceding a page used with the alcohol markers, and then after the page with the alcohol markers. And that is terrible because it ruins your colorings. Anything that you've done after or before that page gets that yellowing on it, and it's such a shame when that happens. It's such a disappointment, and I've had that happen to me in particular with parkour markers, and so I don't use those anymore unless it's a standalone page that's not in a coloring book. So now I'm really kind of leery of alcohol markers, and I just am afraid of that happening. So the very first thing I did the day after I got these, I'm going to move my swatches out of the way, was I chose the marker shades that I thought, so I used the Carla Magana Macaron sketchbook because there is so many blank sheets at the end. She has like all these test pages, so I thought this would be perfect. So I went ahead and I grabbed ones that I thought would be very likely to yellow. If they were going to yellow, these shades would be it. It's always like the yellows, oranges, and reds. Sometimes browns also are the ones that end up yellowing. And I put on here ArtBeek yellowing test June 7th, 2022. Well, today is the 28th, so we have had, you know, a good amount of days here, almost 3 weeks, not quite, just a little shy of 3 weeks. And you can see that there is no yellowing going on the previous page. Now, obviously there was bleed through, but there's no yellowing on the next page. So I think if these were going to yellow, they definitely would have done it within this time period. I can't say for sure. I don't know, 6 months down the road, even 2 months down the road, what it would be like. But it's been almost 3 weeks, and that's why I was a little bit slow on getting this video out, because so many times, like with the Parku markers, they were sent to me also, and I'm not bashing Parku in any way, shape, or form, but they were sent to me also, and they yellowed. And I did my video before I learned that they yellowed. And so I felt kind of bad, that wasn't a point that I had brought up in, when I talked about the markers. So this time I wanted to give it a chance to see how they would perform, and looks good to me. Really, really pleased that they didn't yellow at all. So, and I didn't put any pages. I kept the book closed like so. I did put a page when I swatched them so that I wouldn't get bleed through on this page, but I didn't put any, extra copy paper or cardstock or anything to stop them. So my book, ever since I swatched them, has been closed like that. No yellowing. So very promising, I think. Right? That made me really happy. So I'll show you, I have been using these markers in 2 pages that I've colored recently in Miss Fantastic. I colored, there we go. Let me find it here. Let me see. So this one I was working on last night, and it is a whip. It is not completed yet. I don't want there to be a shadow. It is not completed yet. So I did put, this entire page is done with the ArtBeek sketch markers. The entire page. I did add a little bit of colored pencil to her skin, but that's as far as I've gotten. I haven't shaded anything else yet on her hair, her tail, or the wings. So so her skin, you can see, has a little bit of pencil added in there, but the tail and hair and wings, that is just the ArtBeek markers, and I think they're beautiful. And this part on the tail is that French vermilion that I think is so pretty. Excuse me, I just think it's a beautiful shade. So really, really pleased with that one. And then I also did, excuse me, I hate to cough, it's allergy season. Pardon me. I gotta find the page that I just did. Goodness. Was this one. And I completed this one on the 25th. And this one was completely, entirely done with the ArtBeek markers. And then I used a little bit of Posca and a little bit of colored pencil. I think it was the Black Widows. Pardon me. But you can see how vibrant she is, And no yellowing yet. That was 4 days ago. So no yellowing on the preceding and following page. So yeah, so that makes me pretty happy. And then I'll go back and finish this one today. But I wanted to use that pretty vermilion color. I just think it's gorgeous. So overall, I think, they seem really well. They're very juicy. Now you're going to see that, like, especially here, there's like places where I went over the lines. These markers don't bleed over the line from what I can tell. Anytime you see this, that's my error, because fully I will 100% be transparent and admit that chisel tip is hard for me to use. I'm not used to it. I really like brush tip markers, and I feel more like I can get more precision with them. So I'm very much a newbie when it comes to those chisel tips, and I have a tendency to go out of the lines. I did it over here, I did it here, you know what I mean? I did a little bit here, and that's not the markers, that's me. So yeah, you can see I did it here. All the places where it starts to get thinner, you know, her tail, I have gone out of the lines, and that's me, not the marker. So I think on the scales on her tail, I used excuse me, the fine tip. And so, and same up here and in her eyes and lips, I used the fine tip. So I didn't go out of the lines on that, but it's just me being not very experienced with a chisel tip. But I think they're very, very vibrant, and they're very pretty and juicy and everything like that. So I have to say, I think they seem like pretty decent markers altogether. I definitely am pleased with what I've experienced as far as they're concerned. And when I swatched them, I didn't experience any that were dried out or seemed scratchy. They all flowed really, really well. The tips didn't fray. I've used like, let me see, where's that vermilion, French vermilion? Here it is. I want to make sure that's the one. Yeah. And mostly I have used the chisel tip, and you can see it doesn't look like it's frayed or anything like that. It looks good, you know. So I don't know, really, really pleased with them. I wish that I would have received all shades. That would be, you know, I'd love to have seen the two that I missed. Like I said, I know I missed a terracotta. I'm not sure what the other shade was that I'm missing, but, you know, I really would have loved to have been able to try those other two shades. But from what I've received here, I'm very, very pleased, especially for the price point. And I think for a person who is a casual colorist, they would be fine. I can understand that if you were a, you know, somebody that was very into your markers, these might not be for you. You might want something a little bit more advanced. Also, I would recommend swatching them. Definitely, because some of the names I think are misleading. And so we have, like, I'll show you, for example, number 25, salmon pink here. That is not salmon pink, in my opinion. And then, let's see, these two, 131 and 135, skin white and pale cherry pink, look very similar. The skin white is just a bit deeper than the pale cherry pink. Very, very similar, though. So I think that it's good to, oh yeah, pastel yellow, I think, is deeper than some of the other yellows. And also, let me see, there's another one. What was it oh, I know. It was in the greens. We have turquoise green light here, which is number 57. And then we have number 68 is turquoise green, and it's actually lighter than the turquoise green light. So, so in a mint green light, well, yeah, and then that's mint green. Those two are pretty on track, but you know, so other than that, you know, the name's not matching up in exactly with what the shade is. You know, I think the actual quality of the marker itself is really good. So I would definitely recommend swatching them, you know. And I'm not a big swatcher, but but when I colored in the Deborah Miller book, I did use this as a guide to what I wanted to use. And there's a lot of nice light shades. So if you're into the pastel thing, you've got a lot of nice, really light pastel-y shades. And also there is a lot of skin tones. So yeah, overall, I mean, I think, like I said, if you're just a casual colorist who likes using a marker base in your Amazon books or any other books, or you just want to use some straight coloring and for mandalas, or, you know, in any of your books, just do straight coloring. I think they seem good. The yellowing factors doesn't seem to be an issue with these, which, cross your fingers, it stays that way. But that really impressed me. I got to tell you, that really impressed me because I hate that yellowing. I absolutely hate that yellowing. When I go back and look at a coloring book and I see that a page that I have worked really hard on is tinted with yellow from a page up before or after it, it really upsets me. And so, so I was really happy to see that there was no yellowing after almost 3 weeks of being swatched in my book. So there you guys have it. That is my review of the ArtBeek 80-piece sketch marker set for $26.99 on Amazon. And like I said, I will leave a link for them in the description section below so you can check them out yourself. I think there is a 5% off coupon right now. Today, like I said, is the 28th of June. And I just looked at the listing on Amazon, and I noticed that it did say 5% off coupon. So there you go. All right, I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions for me, leave them in the comment section below, and hopefully I can answer it for you. And you guys have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.